1 tin of soup, 1 and 2pence. 1 packet lard, 9pence halfpenny. Cheese, 1 and 8. Half a pound of butter, 1 shilling and 11pence, right. Total. £19 and 6.
You've left some out.
2 tins of salmon, 4 and 6 each.
Yeah, you've left them out.
I don't think so. You see, my love, they don't tally. Can you tell me why?
I can tell you now.
Now, look here, Mrs.
Miss Sharples.
You shut up, Minnie Colwell. You're not talking to me like some of that crawled out of last week's cheese.
Mrs. Sharples, I've no record that you paid for those 2 items. I can prove that they came from this store. I'm asking you for an explanation.
Right. Will you give me that sheet of paper for a start? Well, it's like I said, she's missed them off. Them girls at the counter are half daft, and they're half daft there on the fiddle.
I don't think so. You see, Mrs. Sharples, I myself watched you put those 2 tins into your own basket. I watched you all the way to the cashier's desk. I saw you walk out of my store without paying for them. Now, I did a fair share to set this store on its feet. I'm not going to stand by and see it undermined by pilfering women.
Not, but they'll have to keep your medal this time. I've been on God's earth 67 years and never taken anything I haven't a right to.
Oh, she'd never take anything that wasn't hers.
Well, if you can't enlighten me, I'm getting hungry. I've done my job. I'll let the law do theirs.
Aye, you let them. I've no to hide.
Well, Ena, perhaps you did get the baskets mixed up. You have been a bit mixed.
Minnie Colwell, I am not a thief, and I'm not having him telling me I am a thief.
Well, I've got enough for one.
I'm sorry, love. Store policy. Mind, you weren't anywhere near her. You can go if you want.
Oh, I'm staying with Ena.
Store policy, you see. The police are pretty snappy around here. We find it worth our while.
Thank you, love. You know, Jack, how Mrs. Riley spent an entire morning labouring over a hot stove is quite beyond me. Between you and me, Jack, the demand just isn't there.
Well, now, look, Annie, love. Brenda Riley were in favour with Corrie because they were queuing up for it.
No, queuing up they may have been, but what for is highly dubious.
Well, if you're so against the idea, why have you bothered making it?
Look, love, if our regulars wish to dine in the Rovers, I'm certainly not going to disappoint them. And I have not made hot pot. I have made goulash.
No, and they're expecting hot pot.
Oh, really, Jack? Lancashire hot pot is just a stew. Goulash is a less common variety.
Hungarian, I know. I've knocked about a bit. I know that Albert Tatlock won't touch it with his stomach for a start.
Oh, Jack. Spices are the stay and staff of the true cook. Oh, I shall never forget Mrs. Edgerton's larder.
Who's she when she's at home?
Mrs. Edgerton happens to be the first cook of Babbacombe, and I had the great privilege of seeing her larder. Believe me, Jack, it was the most impressive collection.
Aye, I can imagine it. Row on row of titchy bottles, all with leaves in, not a bone or crust inside.
Oh, really, love, just a touch of paprika isn't going to harm you. As Mr. Harben says, it all depends on the sensitivity of the palate.
What's that, your radiance? Having a bit of bother, are you? Cleaning with soap and shipping better.
Mr. Stone, would you care for a little goulash?
No, thanks, love. I'm trying to give it up. You know what I mean? Leave that to Picasso. No, I'll have a pork pie and a pineapple juice.
Mr. Booth?
Oh, I've eaten already, thanks, Mrs. Walker. No, I'll just have half a mile, please.
Half a mile, not bad.
No, as a matter of fact, I did myself some chops, grilled like, you know.
Go on.
Oh, well, I mean, it's easy as grilling. You just have to watch the speed, mind you, else the fibres tend to coagulate a bit.
Go what?
Coagulate. Sort of, get knotted. They do that before they shrink. Now, if you've had a...
All right, Fanny Harben. You've won yourself a convert. It's the beard that does it, you know. Your radiance. All that washing up water might be good for your diamonds, but it's playing havoc with your hands.
And what have you in mind, Mr. Stone?
Well, how about you putting your feet up and me making the scouse?
Goulash.
That's right, Squire, in bulk, you know what I mean? Meals on wheels, scouse putties delivered to your doorstep, on the doorstep.
Sorry, lad, there's been enough to do already without me being further out of pocket. I don't know who's going to drink all that soup that's in there.
Don't worry. The Hungarians will be here soon for the World Cup. They've shipped a lot.
I'm going to lower the heat. If I am required, I shall be in the kitchen.
Right, love. She's had a trying day, you know. What we're getting rid of Brenda, nobody turning up for this here goulash. Not even Mrs. Sharples to grumble about it.
Oh, She's been keeping herself to herself lately, has Mrs. Sharples.
Oh, she were a bit naughty with me in corner shop this morning.
Ah, well, she's had her troubles, hasn't she? She'll probably be a lot better when she gets back home.
How's it going on,
Oh,
Mission?
it's coming on very well. We've got all the joists down now, about half the floorboards. No, it won't be long before we have her back home again.
Ah.
Every morning she was in regular as clockwork. That's why they brought me in here. Experience. And I got her. Saw her over top of butcher's. She said the kid had put the meat into her bag when she wasn't looking. Toddler. Couldn't even reach the fridge.
Is he humping his back, that copper?
Oh, never very good around here. He'll not be long. You can go. I told you can go if you want.
I'm staying.
Funny that. It's always the key, the meat losses. Well, she never came back, mine, not once. Didn't dare show her face. Come in. Ah, good. That one, 2 tins of salmon, 4 and 6.
You saw it happen?
Usual, straight into her own basket. I wasn't more than 4 or 5 yards from her. I followed her out, of course. You know, a store this size, we can't afford to make mistakes.
It's the truth, madam.
Might be, it's certainly not mine.
Could I have your name, please?
Sharples, Ena, Mrs. Born November 14th, 1899. Caretaker, Glad Tidings Mission. Caretaker, 29 years. 29 years without blame or blemish.
Mrs. Sharples, I must warn you, I'm going to take you down to the station and charge you with intent to shoplift. Now, you can make a full statement there. Is there anything you want to say to me now?
By gum, there is. You can tell Big Brother there, his glass eye's tarnished. £1 I spent in this store. I've got as much left in my purse, but you can count it if you want.
That's not the point, love.
See, you're taking his word. He's out for victims. He said so himself. Put here to make examples. Old women.
£30 a week we lose in this store. And that's the minimum. That's if we're lucky.
Well, you should think on before you choose them. 29 years of praying and scrubbing. 2 years with my man out, then his soul's on the cobbles and my kids snatching for crusts. I'm a God-fearing mother. There isn't a body for streets round here that doesn't respect my name.
Was this lady with her?
No question of accessory.
I'm going with Ena.
Your, purchases?
Ena, the gentleman means for you to take your shopping.
Ah, not these. Not this time.
Oh, I know I had it somewhere. Honestly, it's typical. The one thing I go to town for, I go and forget. Oh, here we are. 1 suit and 1 jacket. It's at the dry cleaners on the corner. Elsie, come back.
Oh, I'm sorry, love. As a matter of fact, I didn't feel like going in today. I wasn't going to. Don't fancy watching them churning robots. I'll pick it up for you tomorrow if you like.
Oh, it's all right. He can get it himself. He's got the car. You feeling under the weather?
Oh, just a bit chocker, that's all. No hard reason, really. Well, there's Jim, of course. I hadn't meant to pack his bags for him quite the way I did.
Well, why don't you go to town anyway? Wander around, spend some money.
Well, I could and all if I wanted. Endowment policy came up today. £1 a week for 79 years. Well, 17 years. That's 50 quid.
Well, then, what are you waiting for?
Oh, no, well. Rather I'd sit and stare at my chilblains and cry over them than go spending money. Thanks all the same.
Oh, give me 50 quid. I'd soon spend it.
Ow.
Oh, I don't know. I'd buy one of those giant pandas you see in toy shops. Or a chihuahua, something daft.
Aye. Always wonder what I'd do if I had any money to spend. I think I'd fancy lying on my belly on one of them glass-bottom boats with somebody pouring oil all over me and me gawping at the fish down below.
Ken's always talking about going to the Galapagos Islands or somewhere to watch tortoises. Seriously, though, you ought to do something with it. Ken did the living room up for me when I was away. It's made such a difference.
I mean, decorate.
Yeah, why not? You've got money.
Oh, no, I'm too used to it as it is. Love, this place has been a tip ever since Len Fairclough's been propping up the bar in the Rovers.
So, now's the time. Honestly, I bet you'd enjoy it. I'll tell you what, I'll go and see if we've got any of those wallpaper books hanging around.
I suppose it could do with bright, you know. Something a bit lighter, say an oatmeal or an aquamarine.
Oh, get her.
It's time I started coming to Lady Mugs, isn't it?
Mrs. Sharples, you know there's really no need.
If you think I'm standing on marketplace shouting fond farewells to the likes of you, they're after than I give you credit for. If you've got out to say, you can say it in here. If you're stopping, you better put the kettle on.
No, thanks. I just came to see you were all right for tomorrow.
What's up then?
It's all right, Sonny Jim. It was the store and 2 tins of salmon. Oh, this is Mr. Stone. It's my lodger.
Well, Mrs. Sharples, seeing I'm here, would you
Have you
mind...
got a warrant?
I'm his warrant. If he thinks I've got the Bank of England on my bed, he can get on his knees and look for it. Go on, lad. Follow your nose. I can see it's twitching.
All right. Come on, scuffer. After you.
Oh, he's got to upset Sonny Jim, he is.
Hey, Minnie Colwell, you always did get things back a draw down, don't you? Still, you stick to your friends, I'll give you that.
Well, you were poorly and I had to stop by you.
Well, there's no need, really.
Would you like me to unpack your bag?
No, let it be. Probably want to go and sniff round again, set his mind at rest. Right, I'm taking his time here.
Well, he didn't have to bring us home.
Pharisees, Pharisees. They fetch stuff in and then they plant it and swear it's been there all the time. Over it's in newspapers. Now he's come spying.
Oh, I do hope he doesn't go into Sonny Jim's room.
Make out blacks white.
Come on, scuffer, you've got a lucky face. Which one's it under then? My dad used to do this at Adop Park, you know, Spider Stone they called him. Perhaps you know him used to be a scuffer himself in A Division, till he went bent.
You okay for tomorrow, then?
Hey, you're feeling happy. I wouldn't like to let you down, you know.
Aye, I'm happy.
Right, well, hang on a bit. I'm coming with you. Want to stay in here, you know. I live at the vestry. Everything's ready for you down there. Floorboards up, all waiting.
Look, there's no need.
You'll do as I tell you. Cheer up, lad. I'm giving you a bonus. Alibaba's taking you down to see Kane.
Mrs. Sharples, I said there's no need.
Oh, yes, there is. Nobody's taking me for a thief. Nobody on God's earth.
Hold it up a bit, I can't see it proper.
Well,
No, I don't like it, it's a bit wishy-washy. You want bamboo or black and white? I don't think that's bad. She's not holding it high enough. Can you move it to the right a bit?
oh, look, I'm sick of this standing up here like a flaming fairy. You can go off homemaker, you know.
At least you haven't got kids stabbing their hands all over it. Oh, they have some funny colours, don't they? How do you fancy gravy-coloured plush? Of course, you could always try emulsion. Hey, what's diaphanous? Kind of see-through, why? Hey, do you fancy diaphanous curtains? You can have them in pale privet if you want. Privet or seaweed.
No, thanks. I have trouble enough without encouraging it.
You know what this room needs is a bit of planning. It tells you how to scale it down and make a plan.
Oh, love, it's hardly big enough to make a plan of. And if you think I'm going to drag around on the floor pulling a tape measure behind me with my bottom stuck in the air, you've got another thing coming.
It says here, the less you have, the more you have to conserve it. It's very scientific. Listen to this. Putting on a sweater or coat can mean your arms are extended in a 5 feet diameter circle.
Ooh, fancy.
Allow 2 feet for circulating round the bed. I'd have thought that depends on who's doing the circulating. Shouldn't you be at work? No, it's my day at tech.
It's 17 minutes past 3, according to my watch.
Yeah, well, I've only to be there for 1/2 past.
Well, I think you should off it just the same. Go on.
All right. But I still think you're wrong, the both of you. You're too square. Try.
Shit, little beggar. It must be a new boyfriend she's knocking about with or something, giving her ideas.
Oh, all these glossy pictures. Houses that belong to other people, never you.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. It's not Buckingham Palace, and it never will be.
Anybody here?
Yeah, we're here in all our sordid splendour.
Oh, hello. I was wondering if you'd heard out about Mrs. Colwell.
Eh?
Mrs. Sharple's come back with a policeman. He was in there for at least half an hour, and now he's took Mrs. Sharple's to the vestry.
Maybe one of them was taken ill.
Oh, they looked ill, both of them. Just like our Stan when he had that crate fell on him. All yellow.
Hello. Touch of the Cecil Beatons, eh? Hey, Elsie, have you got any more of those glucose tablets left?
Yes, why?
Well, it's for Ma, you see. She's had a bit of a shock.
Well, you've got it all down in writing.
Nothing to report.
No, there isn't, is there? No, but bed and Bible.
I made you some tea, Mrs. Sharples. I thought you might like to have a sit down for a few minutes, like.
Have you been at the lavatory? Hey, you, Brusher, did my floorboards in?
Oh, yeah, they're all
I'll
right.
get them covered over then.
Aye.
And I'll see you in the morning.
9:45, main hall. Might be a bit of standing around, but they call out and they tell you where to go, and if you get a bit confused, you'll find all the details posted.
I'm not one for forgetting.
It's a shame, really.
Oh, can't you do aught about it? I mean, she's an old woman, dragging her in front of all them people in a police court and details posted.
Don't know how much they lose each year.
Ah, but it's not right. I mean, they ought to know better.
Hey, well, I'm off.
Ah, right.
Bye now.
Ta-ra, then.
He's gone then.
Oh, yeah. He's gone. I hope your tea's all right, Mrs. Sharples. I've put some extra sugar in it. It's good for, well, it helps you keep your strength up, right?
What did he tell you?
Well, not to speak of. I mean, he can't help, really. He's not in a position.
No.
I used to go to one of them supermarkets once, you know. They had two fellas at door. Two dummies. They're all grey. Grey faces. I used to think about them all the way round. Not even human.
I never liked him. All them bobby socks of colours, I could never find anything I wanted.
No, it's not easy, I know.
You said there'd be a lot of waiting.
Oh, no, they rush these things through like they hurry them up, you know. Well, don't you want your tea, Mrs. Sharples?
What are you doing with sugar?
It's in. I've put it in already.
Well, it's all right, Ma, don't worry. And I've got to be careful. This is a very temperamental thing, these.
Well, I'm prone to worry, you see, ever since Bobby got that scolding.
Yes, well, it's as safe as ours with me, Ma, just like a little baby it is. Ah, have you got the wind then, have you? There, then. Bernie.
Well, it's silly, really. 5 o'clock, going to bed before we've had us tea. And we were going to have omelette for us tea.
Now, Ma, do as you're told. Listen to your Uncle Jed and you'll be all right. Ah, there she is, our lady of the bedchamber. Tell me, darling, have you ever made hay in a hammock?
Look, it's all ready for you, love, if you want to go.
Well, I don't know. It seems silly.
Oh, go on. You go and have a good lie down while you've got the chance.
Yes, come on, love. Listen to Bedpan Annie and you'll be all right. You bring Bobby and I'll bring the bottle. And I'll tell you a little story. Once upon a time, there was a little pickled egg called Humpty Dumpty. And every Sunday morning at 8 o'clock, he used to go for a little roly-poly down the hill.
Well, I see you've had wings.
I'm siding up. Jed asked me to.
Oh, aye.
Mrs. Sharples, I want to say I'm sorry.
Sorry?
Yeah, but, you know... Well, it must have been a terrible shock to you, and if there's anything I can do, I'd... Look, I just hope it works out all right, that's all.
You always did fancy yourself, didn't you? Spotting sheep from goats.
I don't know what you mean.
I never pinched that stuff, Elsie's no more than I wrote those letters. You were wrong then, and you're wrong now.
Look, that business, it's all over and done.
Aye, but this isn't. Until I walk out of that court tomorrow, there isn't one of you right to raise a finger against me. Not one little finger. Least of all them that's got most behind them.
Hello? Can I come in?
Oh, it's true enough what they say. Where the body is, there the eagles gather.
I never said, Jack, that she wasn't human. She has many failings. She was capable of a lot of interference. Spying. Caused a great deal of hurt in her time. I know. I myself have been the object of her, well, speculations.
Wagging tongue.
But never in my wildest dreams that such a thing should happen to her, of all people, a pillar of society.
She was always a leader. If ever there was a battle to be fought, she was there in vanguard.
Yeah, you never had to send for a policeman. Just shout her name and kids would scatter.
Very proud of her good name, was Mrs. Sharp.
Oh, I wish you'd belt up the lot on you.
Really, Mr.
Well, look, you stood there going on as though she were 10 foot under already. You wringing your hands and that. I wish you'd stop it, that's all. It's not proper.
Oh, but it's a big thing, Jerry lad. You'll not deny it.
No, I'll not deny it, Mr. Walker. But I won't make it sound worse than it is, neither. Oh, look, it happens. It happens to everybody at some time or another. When I were a kid, I saw this atlas on market that I wanted. Well, it was marked at 5 shilling. I didn't have 5 shillings, so I just took it. I took it home and hid it under bed. Now, where's the difference?
We all have things when we're children, Jerry. Mr. Walker was only telling me
Hold
the
on,
other
Annie.
day.
He has a point there, you know.
I know, love, but as we get adult, we get responsible. We learn to respect the conventions.
Aye, and how to twist 'em. No, it's no use, Annie. There's no difference between fiddling books and scrumping apples. It goes on after all right, only it's little things and you get more cunning.
And where do you draw the line, Mrs. Walker, eh? Go on, just tell me that.
I still maintain there's a great difference between tins of salmon and crab apples.
All right, and it's getting caught that makes the difference.
Oh, but there's plenty doesn't, though. They get away with it all the time, some of them. I've heard they even have special clothes.
Really?
Yeah. All voluminous, you know. And like wearing muffs and that in summer.
Those will be the professionals, of course.
Aye, and I'm sure that Mrs. Sharples is walking around with pockets in her bloomers for holding tins of fruit salad.
Oh, well, it's all very distressing. Still, she has got all of us to support her.
Right, well, that's all fixed then. I'll be round about 9:15. Oh, and I'll stay until it's over and run you back.
Making sure I don't clobber them with their own bonnets, is that it?
Well, let's say to help unravel the red tape a little, shall we?
So you think I need a solicitor?
Frankly, Mrs. Sharples, yes.
Why?
Safety valve. Not the most stable of institutions, magistrates' courts, and a lot can depend on the person and the way that they... Well, no, actually, I just think it would be a good idea, that's all.
You don't think I'm pleading guilty, do you?
No, I gathered that...
You heard Miss Leighton Elsie Tanner at the door?
Yes.
Well, I meant every word I said. Not guilty. And it doesn't take a lawyer to say that.
Well, it wouldn't cost much, and it might be worth it.
I never intended nout. And no, it doesn't take the fancy bows and hats and umpteen years and I still to tell them that, or does it?
I don't think it's quite as simple as that, Mrs. Sharples.
No, you wouldn't.
No, what I mean is it might be a little more complicated than you yourself know.
I know what I know, young Barlow, and there's nought else.
Right, well, in the morning then.
Yes,
Mrs. Corrie gone to bed?
she has.
I wouldn't leave it too late if I were you.
Thank you very much, lad. Good night.
Good night, Mrs. Sharples.
I know what I know, and there's nought else.
Thanks, Elsie.
The mind, Mrs. Ogden, has unfathomable depths. When I think how much that charming doctor taught me, I sat in front of that television quite transfixed.
I go funny sometimes. Thought I'd lost our Stan once. Went round and round the house looking for him. And all the time he was asleep in front parlour. I made sure I'd lost him. Well, that's very psychiatric, isn't it?
The great thing, of course, is to recognise the approach of danger. Now, when Mr. Walker had that trouble recently, you know, with that terrible blackmailing man, I could see it coming a mile off. Just the same with Mrs. Sharples, you know. I could have told you all. She just wasn't herself.
Aye. She sent me away with a right flame here. Said I was pointing the finger.
And were you?
I said I was sorry, Jack.
You just assumed that she was guilty, is that it?
She must be. They've had all the evidence. It's what they're going to do to her afterwards that worries me.
They'll not take the boots off, not especially for her.
That's the way of things, isn't it? Them against us.
Well, I wouldn't put it quite as crudely as that.
Hello, lad. What you having?
Pint, please, Mr.
Pint?
Walker.
Right.
No, Mr. Town, I mean, it's also meant to be helping, isn't it? I mean, they're there for the ultimate preservation of our health, and they think they have to frighten us to do it. I don't know. Maybe it's the only way we can understand.
Makes you shudder, though, doesn't it? Black hats and having it in the paper for everybody to see.
Yes. We can only hope they'll be lenient. After all, she is an old woman, victim of circumstance. Should help to mitigate her guilt.
Yes, one thing, though, Mrs. Walker. Mrs. Sharples is pleading not guilty.
You dozed off then?
Oh, yes. Sonny Jim were telling me a story. It was a shaggy dog story. All about this Welsh sailor that got on the Isle of Man boat at Liverpool with a piece of string. And then when I woke up, he'd gone.
Brought you back a drop of brandy.
Oh, yes, I heard you shouting. Was it Mrs. Tanner?
Well, it wasn't Gunga Din.
Oh, I expect she's gone to Rovers.
Yes, I expect she has.
Ena, do you think it'll be in the papers?
And it will.
Oh, and will he see it?
Minnie Colwell, it's been a long day. If I was Al-Quran, I'd tell you.
Oh, I'm sorry, Ena.
Well, who then?
Well, I was thinking of that mission fella, Mr. Nesbitt.
Oh, aye. There's something fresh for him to chew at.
Oh, I hope he doesn't come rampaging.
He might.
He were very nasty.
There's very few as isn't.
And will they be tomorrow, all them people? Oh, and if he goes telling them, that manager, they might believe him. I mean, they don't know you like I do.
There was in a city a judge, which feared not God, neither regarded man.
Oh, that's in the Bible.
No, just any city. There's only one place where you stand in front of Good Shepherd, and it's not on earth.
We could go to Rover's tomorrow for his dinner when we get back. Sonny Jim says that Mrs. Walker's made a goulash. That's a kind of stew. We'll be back in time for us dinner, won't we? I mean, it won't take long.
There'll be all the waiting.
Yes, but we will be back for us dinner. It'll all be over then.
Oh, aye. It'll all be over then. One way or t'other.